Welcome to your Autumn 2021 message. Hi everyone, this is Nikki K. I hope you guys are all doing well today. So guys, today I'm going to be doing a little video. I don't think I've done in an actual while, I think I only started it this year, but I'm doing the autumn equinox, which is happening on the 22nd of September, London time, which is 7:21 p.m. Now, as you guys know, we have like 4 seasons, every time, the sun moves into a cardinal sign, which is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Seasons change. This is where it's initiating a new beginning. So with the autumn equinox is from September the 22nd and it ends on December the 21st. And after that, we have the winter equinox, which is from December to March. Okay, so we're going to talk about the autumn one, and I'm going to talk about, because obviously the planets have a message, guys. They always have a message. Okay, so I'll talk about what the message the planets are saying, and also some of the stuff that I feel that a lot of us could feel, could the messages that a lot of us could be picking up between now and December. Because when it's autumn, the nights get darker. People, even though we are in Virgo season, how we eat, especially in the beginning, a lot of us have really good intentions, but we are human. So the good intentions that we have with our daily practices, it can actually get thrown out of the window, especially when the weather changes, because weather does affect our mood. So some of the feelings that I was picking up is that we're going to definitely be looking forward to, because before I say that, the sun's in 29 degrees Virgo, which is the critical degree. That means that it's a beginning, you have to sort of hurry to finish something in order to start something new, because then the sun is moving into Libra. So it's like on the cusp of Virgo and Libra. The moon is in Aries. We have Mercury. The rising sign for this is Aries as well. Okay, so you can imagine how we are going to be, showing ourselves to the world, especially the sun being in Aries. The energy is action, it's fast pace, it's, initiating something new. Could be actually rushing to do something new. There could be lots of, wanting, being the leader, doing something first. And also not really hanging around to, waiting for action to start. It's all about us starting action. So I feel a lot of us are going to be wanting to start a lot of action. And, yes, it can be, remember, this is Mars. The rising sign is Mars, it's Aries Mars. So, and also Aries does rule the physical body. The rising sign is the physical body. So, we can also definitely expect some fast action that's going on, especially how we are, moving fast. The pace could actually be picking up quite fast as well, especially the sun being in Virgo, is easing out of Virgo, moving into Libra. The energy is going to change, the shift is going to change. And the moon being in Aries as well, emotionally, very fast, very quick paced. We also have, but they can also feel a little bit of instability that's going on as well between now and for the autumn, because Aries, it's not that they don't like change for this autumn, but sometimes it's change that they can control. And I feel that there's going to be a lot of change that happens that some of us are not going to be able to control. And some of this change can be very shocking. It can be very sudden. You have to be very mindful of how we're moving around our spaces in our area, because You know, there can be obviously some accidents. You know, I'm not sure if a lot of you guys know that Aries tend to have a lot of accidents because they move too fast. But there is a lot of like sudden energy that is going on. And even like on a worldly scale, like the weather, it might be very unstable. Like, you know, when it comes to rain and just like I feel there's gonna be a lot of weather changes, and some of it can be very, you know, especially if we hear it on the news, it can be very like all of a sudden, like out of the blue, you know, thunder, lightning, and I mean, I may be going over the top with that, but I do feel there's going to be lots of changes. And you know, Mercury's in Libra, okay, and we also have Mercury in Libra, and we also, let's not forget, we have Mars in Libra as well. So, you know, Mercury and Mars being in Libra, you know, when it comes to like our mental process and our energy, because we are in the shadow of, you know, Mercury retrograde. So with those energies happening, you know, our drive and our energy is going to be on communication. You know, communicating is going to be very much key. And, you know, like even like our mental processes, we're going to be seeking balance, you know, whether it's in a partnership or groups. Also, this is about business and contracts, because Mercury is about, you know, business as well. But, you know, there is energy that is, you know, connected, a lot of energy that's connected to that. But the MC, which is the 10th house to this, is Capricorn. Now, with the Capricorn 10th house to this, this is like the status. So this is showing during the autumn, between now, you know, the autumn, should I say, you know, the heavy emphasis is going to be on our career, our jobs, our security, how we are building our wealth as well. You know, times are changing when it comes to, you know, how we're working. And I feel that, you know, yeah, so it is about, you know, generally it's about security. You know, general it's about security. You know, what jobs we can have, you know, being stable in a job. You know, they could I do feel that there's a lot of, you know, not wanting to move from a job. We just want to be stable. We don't want any changes. We're happy with how things are. We're, you know, it's like it's the goat, it's the mountain. Where some of us, I feel, is going to be very ambitious to climb that, you know, career ladder. But, you know, sometimes when we reach that career ladder, it could be going nowhere. Okay, because now that we are in the air era, we've moved out of the earth era of Capricorn. We're in the air era. So, you know, jobs are changing. But I feel that some of us could be really like sticking to like the old and tried tested way during this autumn. So that's like what the planets, the little bit of the planets are saying. But, you know, during this autumn season, some of the feelings that I feel and some of the things that could be coming out for a lot of us on a general, you know, there's definitely a feeling of like us pushing forward as like a general on a worldly collective scale. And, you know, especially when it comes to like our work as well. And there can be a change, you know, even though some people are very comfortable in their jobs, there can definitely be like a change of jobs. And, you know, working to find like something, you know, a change of jobs, because, you know, we may be happy, we may not be happy. We want something, you know, security conscious, but also we want something really suitable. And also, this is about us really taking care of ourselves, mentally, physically, and emotionally. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of us may be starting to just feel that, you know, especially coming to the ending of 2021, the beginning, because we are actually in the beginning of the 2020s. This is the year that started. So, you know, when it comes like towards the end of the next 3 months, people start to like change their goals, their views. You know, they start looking at themselves and thinking, I just need a huge change. So this could be like an overhaul, physical change. You know, people will definitely be looking after themselves more, but be more on the physical, mental, emotional. And, you know, there can be like a huge push and pull of feeling of when, you know, we have to go. There can be that definitely push and pull, like, do I stay or do I go? You know, even in how we feel, you know, we can also, you know, I also feel that, you know, even how we feel and how we look, we know that we know exactly where we are going. So even in the push and pull, there's sort of that definite energy of, you know, I know where I want to go. And there can be some rushing, you know, it's rushing. Some of us could actually try to force intuition to come, like, where do I go? But we have to just be, you know, be patient. So rush into new action, and, you know, definitely being in two minds. There can also be an element of distraction, so the energy can still be quite, you know, up and down. We do have like intense energy. I do feel that when we can feel on a personal or business level, even work, or even on a working level, you know, we can hear about how people or ourselves are trying to control others, or like our environments. And I think that's because Pluto is involved as well. And I think that is definitely to do with the Mercury retrograde. When that happens, you know, there's going to be a lot coming out because Pluto is going to square Mercury. And when that happens, it is a time that, you know, basically certain shits come out, you know. You know, if people are playing mind games, or, you know, if we're things that happen in the media or things that happen in work, this could be relationships as well. We have to really look at that, but looking at our environments as well. And there can be people, there can be a lot of us, you know, during the Mercury retrograde, during this autumn season, you know, there can be lots of like conspiracy theories, conflicts, you know, being very defensive. But, you know, we have to also obviously be mindful of what we say and think, you know, everything, you know, say and think, what we're watching, what we're hearing as well. You know, we have to definitely try to be willing to be open, and also try to be open up, like, emotionally. There can be lots of intense passion underneath, and, you know, there can also be like jealousy and possessiveness. So once again, this is definitely to do with the Mercury retrograde that's happening, because Pluto is involved too. This can also lead to who or what we attract. And I feel that there will be a lot of like intense passion, you know. I just, you know, the thing is with the Mercury square, it can go either way, guys. It can go either way. But I feel that there will definitely be a lot of like definitely intense passion, and, you know, this will definitely help us to release any tension. So any passion, you know, because Pluto is involved, this will make us want to release something, and obviously do it in a way that you guys know, you know. But, you know, with Aries rising, you know, especially like not Aries rising, but where anything that arises, guys, you know, it's about finding like a physical way to release it during this time. And, you know, as the nights gets cold and dry, you start snuggling up with people that we love, you know, having like really, I feel that a lot of us, you know, and I feel this autumn is very important because it's like the beginning of the 2020s, and I feel that a lot of us are going to be really feeling more like, because, you know, relationships can make or break, you know, for some reason it always tends to happen in autumn season or sometimes winter season. But I feel this time people will very much appreciate their partnerships even more. So that's one of the reasons why I feel there'll be more intense when it comes to, you know, snuggling up with people that we love, you know, having like debates. There could be like lots of ideas, and, you know, there can be, yeah, I feel there can be a lot of brainstorming, lots of ideas, lots of discussions about, you know, where the relationship is, where it's actually going, you know, especially because Venus is in Scorpio, and it's not going to be very surprising. There's going to be, you know, a huge emphasis, deep passion on partnerships. And, you know, if any of you guys who are single, you could actually meet someone, but this could definitely be very intense. And, you know, some of you could actually be really hell-bent on really finding the right one. You know, peace and harmony is going to sort of go out the window, you know, because the energy is going to be of fire and water, but intense passion. But also, you have to be very mindful, because with Venus being in Scorpio, you know, in order to, sometimes when we try to control someone or hold on to someone, we can people please them because we want to keep them. So it's all about making sure that you're happy instead of pleasing others. This also isn't, because you know, Venus is on one side a business planet as well. So, you know, especially like in business and relationships, this can definitely happen as well. Making sure that, you know, because Venus being in Scorpio during this autumn time, it can make us want things very passionately. It could be creative skill, it could be anything, but we can please people, we can put on that charm to get what we want, but it could also backfire too. Okay, because remember Mercury's retrograde. So other things is that, you know, there's going to be lots of, you know, especially when it comes to like a relationship, I feel this time there can also be changes in the relationship, you know, being a bit more having a bit more spontaneity, you know, saving up for things. And, you know, definitely when it comes to like situations changing, there may or may not be, you know, stability as well. So, and I feel that especially when it comes to like finances as well, that's why a lot of us may be on our minds to save more, because we're feeling that next year, because next year is going to be quite crazy. You know, the market's not going to be as stable. So especially when you're in conversation in a personal relationship, themes of money could be coming up on how to save, what to invest in, or, you know, if you're not earning enough, do you get another job? Or, you know, I feel that some of us are going to feel this instability which is happening because you know, we're moving into like a sort of like contracts house, you know, especially when the sun goes into Libra. This is about business and partnerships, contracts as well, open enemies. Then we move into Scorpio, which is to do with like joint finances, you know, saving, stocks, bonds, money from the government, you know, inheritances. So this is one of the reasons why I feel that a lot of you know, a lot of conversations when it comes to like finances, in you know, like September, October, like November, a lot of these conversations I feel that's going to be had. But, you know, like especially on like personal levels, you know, during this autumn equinox, the other themes that this can happen could be like some nervousness in the air. Like we could, I can feel that there could be some like anticipation that, you know, something's going to happen, something shocking could happen, sudden outburst, like I said before. And they could also, this could also be us being paranoid, or, you know, we could be watching too much TV, watching too much what the media is saying. I know that Uranus is involved somehow, because whenever Uranus happens, this is when nervousness comes up. So this could be, you know, some of us could actually want to change something within ourselves, and you know, seeking like independence. It could be independence from a job, it could be independence from, you know, your surroundings. It could be anything you're seeking independence from. And some of us can actually decide to like change up how we look, you know, being a bit more playful. You know, changing your hair. This could shock people, it could also shock yourself. Okay, so, you know, some of the things I've actually said, I sort of repeat myself. Really sorry about that, but it feels like the energy is like going back and forth. Okay, and I think because when Mercury retrograde as well, there's this back and forth going on. And also could we have like the planets are going to be highlighted as well. So sometimes we could feel very tired because maybe Neptune. We could feel very confused as well. We could also feel very quick sudden changes. We could also feel that, you know, our mind is working quick time. and then it slows down a bit, you know. So the planets, when they come into like action, this actually affects things, good or bad. So during these next 3 months as well, guys, you know, I also, as always, you know, creativity outlets will definitely help us. You know, being around close friends, close family, especially when it's come out to like the Christmas season as well. There will be, you know, definitely thoughts going back to the past. So, but one of the things that we can do is use that, you know, with any outlets that we have, and this could also make us have a bit more peace. Some of us will actually be seeking peace. We can actually be seeking more quiet time as well, because, you know, there are times that, you know, we do want to like, and I feel this is more coming to like December, even though it's Christmas time, it does feel, and I think it is because, you know, we have the moons coming up. You know, we have the new moon in Capricorn, we have the full moon in Cancer, and what this actually does, it makes us like retreat. It can also make us go back. I feel that a lot of us will definitely go back to what happened throughout the whole year, you know. This could actually be before Christmas. So, you know, definitely, you know, retreating just to have our own peace of mind. And they can also be like lots of dreams, visions, you know, spirituality. This can also help us, you know, even meditation, that, you know, we could, this can actually help us like reboot, you know, restart our minds as well, especially if we keep going back to the past, and, you know, we see like the hurts that we've experienced, or something we've watched on the news, or something that someone said. So I feel that towards the ending, when it's coming up just before the the winter equinox, there'll be lots of like feelings of, oh, this happened, and some of us could actually be writing this down, you know, writing a diary of what you've experienced for the last 12 months, you know. So yes, it does. I feel it does end on a emotional sense, definitely emotional. Some of us could actually try to control how we're feeling as well, but still the heart will always sing louder. Okay, so when we come to like the tarot cards for this, guys, it's the 22. It adds up to 4, and the 4 is the Emperor card, which is the Aries card, Aries Mars card. And let's not forget, with this equinox, this autumn equinox, the rising sign is Aries, and so is the moon. So when I saw that the Emperor card is going to be the theme, because not just the Emperor, it's going to also be the Justice card, but I'll be talking about that when it's Libra season. So I'll talk about the Emperor card for the whole of this, for the next 3 months. So the Emperor card is about, you know, it's a powerful leader who is about respect. So either commanding respect or just gaining respect. And, you know, it's about respect. It's also about respecting of the self. So the major theme with this card message and for the next 3 months is that, you know, it's an Aries time. Okay, and it is about, you know, power. It's about being a leader. It's about setting intentions and following it through, and it's also about action. This is a leader, this is not a follower. And although whenever like a suggestion, because, you know, sometimes when you're working for someone who's in a position of power, you give them advice if they seek it, whether they ask for it or not. Sometimes you give them advice, they may take it, but they may not take it on. So this is, you know, this is a time that a lot of us are going to be, remember, they were going with the emperor card as well. So this is about, you know, definitely listening, but also finding like your own way. And this is you know, the card is saying this is going to be very much a teachable time for a lot of us. And, you know, if we use our power and our emotions and our leadership qualities wisely, we can be like, you know, we can change the world between now and December. But if you use it not the right way, you know, what I feel that can happen, especially on a worldly level, is that there can be a loss of power. And they can, you know, the loss of power is because there's a lot of like over, we could see, not we, but you know, there can be like loss of power because of over dominance, you know, a huge come down. It almost feels a bit like a tower card moment, which may or may not be on a global scale. And this could also be from us ourselves. So if we abuse power in any way, there can be a huge embarrassment. And if we hear about someone that is come down, their come down is very dread, it's because of, you know, manipulation, control, and, you know, over dominance and greed. So people in positions of power, the Empire card is also about the father figures as well. So some of us could actually be more in contact with our fathers. There could be a lot of conversations about what went wrong, you know, because sometimes when we don't respect power, it's because we haven't got, some of us haven't got that sort of like, you know, good relationship with our own father. But also, you know, the boss is like a father figure too. So if they don't respect you, if you don't respect them, you have to look at that too. Or they don't respect you. So, you know, people, when sometimes when you get a huge sense of power, or you put yourself in a position of power, you can, you know, abuse it. So we can see that what that could actually happen. So issues of power or struggles can definitely happen. Another message from this card is that you yourself can, you know, feel, some of us also can feel very insecure because, you know, we may not be stepping into that leadership role. A lot of us could be hiding behind the shell, hiding behind the rock, you know, and just getting down to work, but people actually see our potential, but we don't feel secure. So this is like, we're not going into the power within ourselves. And also, you know, definitely, like, if power is being misused in any way, people can actually rise up now, which could turn really ugly. So I was, you know, even when I looked at it, I was thinking, what is this? But still, it does make sense. The Empire card does make sense because for some reason, when, you know, when the autumn season happens, I think it may have been from last year, there's always been some like people, or, you know, the world just moving mad, you know. And even though the Empire card is Aries, Aries is ruled by, you know, Aries is ruled by it's ruled by Mars. So it can also feel like a tower card moment. It can feel like that. So when we, you know, because even though when you know, when doing like the tarot cards for this season, you know, like I said, I was a bit in shock, but then it actually made sense because, you know, we have the, you know, we have the Aries full moon, which is coming up as well, you know. So it did make sense that, you know, the Emperor card is coming up. And I do believe that some of us may hear, you know, that there could be, you know, lots of like shocks and changes when it comes to, you know, everyday things. The other card that we have for this is the Death card. Now, the Death card, even though whenever you see that card, I think a lot of tarot readers, when they see a card, is like, but it is a Scorpio card. And I think this may be played out more when it is Scorpio season. You know, it could be played out even before. So with this, it is about, you know, it's an end of a cycle. You know, it's an end of a cycle, whether it's physical or whether it's emotional or whether it's, you know, it's just an end of a general cycle. And, you know, it's a time that, you know, it's a Scorpio card, you know. And also, you know, things could start to get a little bit dark during this autumn season, especially because of the weather as well. The weather can actually cloud our judgment too. It can make us feel like quite lethargic. It can make us feel quite, you know, having like the blues. Some of us could actually start getting the winter blues. So with the Death card coming up as well during this season, it's not going to be surprising that some of us could actually feel quite depressed. Some of us could actually feel that, you know, we could be looking back on the past a lot. Remember, this is a Scorpio card. So and remember, it's like a snake shedding its skin. So I think during like Scorpio season, like with October, November, the death card will play more into what's going on. And it can feel like even a deep intense of mourning. We could be mourning what we've lost this year. We could be mourning what once was. We could be mourning like how the world has changed. We could be mourning like some of us could be thinking some of us have lost a job, left a job, left a partnership. It could be anything. So it is about us sort of shedding the skin. The death card is asking us, because on a general, it's the Emperor card. It's like the rising sign. But emotionally, even though it is Aries as well, the moon, I think on the deeper emotional level, we have that death card. So it is about us, looking back at the past. And this can actually be very intense. This could also make us feel that, you know, that we feel comfortable holding on to like this old way of feeling and thinking. And but if we because remember, Scorpio is a psychic sign, the second psychic sign to Pisces. But we sort of know, I think deep down we know, that if we like try to let go during autumn, that it is, it's like, what else can I be obsessed with? What else can I hold on to? We don't want to shed, we're not ready to shed that skin. And the shedding of the skin may happen when the sun moves in, when the new moon is in Scorpio. That's when we're going to be, okay, I'm ready to release. And when the full moon goes into Taurus, it's about slowly shedding that skin. So, the death card is about, being open for changes that are coming within us. It's a death of the old and bringing in the new. And if we don't, if we want to stick to an old way of thinking, that means that it's because we just feel comfortable, guys. So it's like being stuck in like an old habit, because remember, Scorpio is a fixed sign, and the fixed signs are like, Scorpio is fixed emotionally. It's very intense and emotional. So we have to also be mindful, because I think also because the Mercury retrograde, Pluto is involved, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And it's funny because the two cards that we have here is ruled by bloody Scorpio is ruled by Mars. It's also ruled by Pluto, and we have Capricorn in Pluto. So this death card makes it even more intense. These two cards, it's gonna make things very, very intense. So I feel that we do have to definitely just watch out for what happens. What I'm saying is like a general. I'm going for what the cards are saying, the tarot is saying, also what I feel. But I do feel that we just have to be very open. We have to also be mindful of like our deepest thoughts, be mindful of what we are holding on to during this autumn season, and seeing why because we're all comfortable. We are all comfortable. Both the cards are saying, we are going to be stepping into like that leadership, but also we are going to be seeing where we are abusing it. There's going to be some come downs. There's going to be like resistance of shedding, but we also will shed, even though it'll be very slow. So this autumn does seem very intense. I think every season, every year is very different, even though it happens the same time. It's very different. But yeah, but creativity, doing like any type of like practices that heal us will definitely help. It can, if we're finding it hard to move on, if we're finding it hard to like go to a side that we know is better for us, it's about being around people, or even like going in solitude by yourself, or doing like any type of creative, or even like a spiritual practice, or doing something you love. It will definitely help us when we go into like the winter season. We can look back on this autumn season and see how far we've come. So guys, that was the autumn season of 2021 message. I hope you guys enjoyed this message. You know, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and you know, let me know how this autumn has gone for you. Feels a bit of a mad one, like I think obviously because Mercury retrograde's involved, but still, you know. But yeah, feel free to, you know, write a comment how it's gone for you, and I will speak to you guys very soon. Take care. Bye.